Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Solskjaer has been given 3 matches to save his Man United job. Manchester United's next 3 games are Tottenham, Atlanta in the Champions League and Manchester City. Sky Sports News said today that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is expected to stay in charge of Manchester United despite Manchester United's 5-0 defeat to Liverpool on Sunday. There has been reports circulating out saying that the Manchester United players have lost faith in Solskjaer. Solskjaer's also lost fans. After the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, Solskjaer refused to resign. And he said it was his darkest day as manager. Yesterday, the Manchester Evening News said that Manchester United are considering sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager following the Liverpool humiliation. And even Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and said that the Man United board were thinking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future, and he also said that Solskjaer was hours away from the sack. Now, Antonio Conte is linked with a managerial role at Manchester United. Now, I'm hearing that Antonio Conte wants the Manchester United job, but Manchester United's board are not keen. Sky Italy said that Manchester United made initial contact with Antonio Conte. Recently, it said Conte has reservations about the club's structure. But there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Conte in. If Conte came in, I think he'd get Manchester United back to that level where they should be at, and he'd suit the strappings of the club. Conte has got a very good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation. Also, when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So he's managed in the Premier League before, that's beneficial. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. But revert back to what I've said before, Conte is the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's also some United fans that want Zinedine Zidane, but reports from Spain said yesterday that Zinedine Zidane has no interest in becoming Manchester United manager if Solskjaer is sacked. It said Zidane is enjoying life away from football management. Brendan Rodgers has been mentioned as well. And not so long ago, Erik ten Hag held talks with Manchester United. But yeah, Solskjaer, I do think he will be sacked very, very soon. My opinion, he should be sacked now after that embarrassment against Liverpool. It's unacceptable losing 5-0 at Old Trafford to one of your biggest rivals. And we was 4-0 down at half time, and that was the first time Manchester United ever been 4-0 down at Old Trafford at half time. But not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. There's obviously players as well that have got to take responsibility for those poor performances. Solskjaer's partly to blame. But you know what? Whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, I adore him because of what Solskjaer's done for the club. Solskjaer is a legend of the club. Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final back in 1999, which was 21 years ago. And Solskjaer won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. But at this moment in time, I just feel as though that Solskjaer is in a position he shouldn't be in. And revert back to what I've said before, I think the expectations are far too high for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to exceed as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and I don't think he's capable of winning trophies as Manchester United manager, because Solskjaer can't take this team any further. That's my perspective on it. You know, if Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of the club. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. We made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. That is a concern. Obviously, before Manchester United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells there, and before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. My other big concern about Ole is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. A lot of United fans have got strong reservations about his decision making. You know, there is positives regarding Ole. You know, there's not all negatives regarding Ole. So the positives is that, you know, he develops the youth well. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. I think we have enjoyed good periods under Ole as well, where he's brought consistency back. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has signed 14 players so far. And we've spent over 400 million under Solskjaer. I think Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he's loaned players out and he's got rid of players permanently. Some progress has been made under Solskjaer, because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season he got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, and last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season, Solskjaer got us a second place finish, and in his first full season, he got us a third place finish. So there you go. And don't forget, Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. It was Leicester that ended our 29 game unbeaten run in the league. And we've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ole. So they are the positives. Ole Solskjaer knew when he taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. You know, Solskjaer is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. But revert back to what I said on a few of my other videos, I expected Solskjaer to do far worse than he has done. Solskjaer got appointed in as Manchester United manager in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. But Solskjaer is out of excuses, because Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad. Revert back to what I said before, in reality Manchester United should be winning the Premier League, and at the start of this season Solskjaer came out and said his ambition this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, that's 8 years ago now. But the problem is, like I've said before, Manchester United are a team of individuals. Like a lot of pundits have said, we don't actually play as a team. You've got the likes of City, Liverpool and Chelsea that all play as a team, and that explains why they're in a much better position than Man United at this moment in time. You know, Manchester United is sitting 7th in the Premier League after 9 games. Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year as well. You know, we must have spent around £141 million. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Plus, Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. You know, John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers, surprisingly, backed Solskjaer. So there you go. You know, when Solskjaer does get sacked, obviously Manchester United will pay him off because, like I mentioned earlier, he's got a contract with Man United until 2024. You know, the only way he wouldn't get paid off, and that's if he resigned, but obviously he's not going to resign, he's already made that clear. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. We sacked Louis van Gaal after like 2.5 years. We did win the FA Cup under the Louis van Gaal era. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after like 3 years, or was it 2.5 years? Mourinho, though, did enjoy one good season at Man United. He won 3 trophies in his first season, and he also got us a second place finish in his first season. So there you go, and Manchester United have been playing catch up now for like the last 8 years or so. Obviously, it's all gone wrong since Ferguson retired. A lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when he retired anyway, and I had that feeling myself. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at Man United. You know, Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So that just shows you that it takes some managers time to settle in. Good job he didn't get sacked any time in that 4 years he didn't win anything, or we wouldn't have had any success now, would we? Because we weren't good before Ferguson. And Ferguson enjoyed, a 27-year managerial tenure at Man United, so he was a very long-serving manager. I am expecting Manchester United to sell players next year. You know, there is players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and there's obviously just players that don't really get in our team. So I think next year Martial will definitely go. Martial doesn't really get in the team, plus Martial's out with injury at the moment. In general, Martial is not good enough to represent the club. The best season I recall Martial having was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Last season Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. There's quite a few clubs in for Martial. Obviously, earlier on this season, it said Newcastle wanted Anthony Martial. You know, Newcastle made formal contact with Martial's representatives. Newcastle are planning to spend big after the Saudi Arabians taken over them. Earlier on this season, it says Barcelona could make a move for Martial next year. Martial's been a long-term target for Tottenham. Atletico Madrid were in for him last summer. Don't forget Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day. Inter Milan wanted Martial before the start of the season to replace Lukaku because Lukaku went back to Chelsea. But before the start of this season, it said Solskjaer refused to sell Anthony Martial as he remains part of his plans. As it happens, Solskjaer has trustworthy in Martial because don't forget Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. But yeah, Martial's been at Man United for like 6.5 years now. He's got 3 years left on his contract. And he scored 79 goals for Man United in all competitions. Edison Cavani, he's going next year, I think. I can't say I want Cavani to leave though, because Cavani has made an impact since he's come in. You know, Cavani's hold-up play's been good. His movement in and around the box is good. He creates chances and he scores very good goals. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani receives over £200,000 a week. Earlier on this season it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. And Barcelona may reignite their interest because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani though, he's aging up. He's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. Lingard, I'm expecting him to leave next year. Lingard's planning to run down his contract anyway. Earlier on this season, it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer because of two players. The other month, it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract over playing time concerns. But yeah, Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season, and ESPN said not so long ago that Lingard is a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. West Ham wanted Lingard in the summer transfer window this year, but West Ham was struggling to meet our 25 million asking price. At the second half of last season, Lingard had a loan spell with West Ham, 4-month loan spell it was, and what an impact he made. I think Ollie's said though he wants Lingard to stay at Manchester United. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. Juan Mata, I'm expecting him to go next year. Juan Mata doesn't get in the team, and he's lost that yard of pace, and he's ageing up. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer, because earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why we extend his contracts for a further year. But anyway, I think Juan Mata's had a good career at Manchester United. Mata's been at Man United now for like 7.5 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. The first part of last season, Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We got Mata back in 2014 from Chelsea for 40 million, so we brought him in under the David Moyes era. I'm expecting Donny van de Beek to leave in January because Donny van de Beek is not getting enough game time at Manchester United. He's a good player, Van de Beek, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United. And Solskjaer should be starting Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. Now, prior to the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, Solskjaer did admit that Van de Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. I don't think Solskjaer wants Van de Beek, because if he wanted him, he'd play him on a regular basis. Earlier on this season, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win against Villarreal, and reflecting on that, he said Van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. And earlier on this season, Van de Beek told Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8, and then Van de Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. Earlier on this season, it said Van de Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for Van de Beek, so he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Romano revealed earlier on this season that Van de Beek's planning to leave the club in January. He's endured a difficult 18 months at Man United. We got Van de Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I think there's a good chance Matic will go next year. The last time I read up about Matic, it said Barcelona wanted him. I think we're going to let Matic go for less than 10 million. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's been given his chances. But Matic, he's aging up, isn't he? And he ain't good enough in general. Always been a static midfielder. Matic has been at Man United now for like 4.5 years, is it, or something? Got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. I think we've got to sell Fred next year as well, because Fred's not good enough to represent the club. We overpaid for Fred. We got him for 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. I think next year Alex Telles will go, because Telles doesn't really get in the team. You know, we'll only play Telles if Luke Shaw is not available. But I do think Telles is a good player. You know, Telles was out with injury earlier on this season. And I think there's a good chance Jones, Bay and Dalot will leave next year. And I'm hearing that Dean Henderson wants a loan move away next year. Well, he's going to do, isn't he? Because he's not getting his chances now at Man United because De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. The channel name's Red Devil 24, and take care. God bless. See you all again soon.